Hi, my name is Tara Patterson, the founder of the Mom's Choice Awards, and we're here live at Book Expo America in New York City, and I'm excited to have Jodee Kulp with us. Jodee is a four-time Mom's Choice Award winner of this year, and last year her book Tiny Titan won a Mom's Choice Award. Awesome, awesome story. But we're here to talk about these books. The Whitest Wall actually has won 2 awards, Best Adult Fiction and Best Adult Young Adult Fiction.
Right.
Sorry about that. And then The Best I Can Be, Living with Fetal Alcohol Syndrome.
Young contributing author. Best
young contributing author. You must be so excited.
Well, it was a surprise when the emails came over.
Wow. I mean, Jodee, we had you here last year. We interviewed you. Your story is incredible. We love you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So tell us about these books. You've been busy.
Well, yeah, The Best I Can Be we revised because we needed information in it that wasn't available or wasn't really wanting to be heard five years ago. So we revised it and wrote the book. And Liz went through, and she's actually got an epilogue in it that's new in a letter. Actually, for BEA, she wrote a letter to all the BEA people here, so they have a letter of what she's at 23 now, because when she wrote the book, she was 13. What she wanted to do at 13 was she said, "Mom, I want to write a book about fetal alcohol." And I'm like, okay, my child cannot read yet. She cannot write yet. She doesn't know how to do a sentence. She doesn't even know what a paragraph is, and she wants to write a book. This is scary. I just said, oh God, you've got to help me with this. So we started talking about fetal alcohol because at 13 was when we got diagnosis. And
now this is your daughter.
This is my adopted daughter.
Your daughter had fetal alcohol syndrome, so everybody knows.
Right.
And so you didn't know this until she was 13.
No, we'd gone to doctors and we'd had lots of assessments, and no one could figure out what was wrong.
Okay.
It didn't make sense, and we had no history on the family, so it was completely open, and nobody knew what was going on, except that the behaviors were very different, and she didn't fit into any of the nice packages. Like, it didn't fit into autistic behavior, but it was like autistic behavior, and it didn't fit into oppositional defiant, yet it was that. So there are all these things, all the allergies and all the different pieces and the failure to thrive, all of those things were happening, but no doctor could pinpoint what it really was. So finally, at 12 and a half, we got an assessment, and the doctor looks at the paperwork, and she said, "You've got fetal alcohol here."
So at age 13, is when somebody finally came to you and said,
and it was like that.
This is what she has.
It was like that, and once we knew what it was, and once we looked and started researching, and there wasn't a doubt. It was just, oh my goodness, this is exactly what we're dealing with. This is exactly.
So because of that situation, would you say that it's important for parents to know where their children have come from, or that background?
Oh, we didn't know how devastating it is. We didn't even have a clue that it lasts for a lifetime.
Right.
We didn't have a clue that a baby is born with fetal alcohol, it lasts for a lifetime. We thought all babies that have it would have a special face.
Sure.
And yet the face happens during one day in pregnancy.
Okay.
So only during one day when the face is migrating, it migrates like this towards the center. Only during that day do you get that face.
And you wouldn't have known that.
And we wouldn't have known that because all of the research and things were not totally out now. I mean, there's research now with animal studies that are incredible, that show you exactly, they can actually recreate pieces now that they couldn't have had happen before. So she was struggling, and we were homeschooling. So we spent 6 weeks writing notes. What was fetal alcohol? How did it affect her life? What was it? And I would print it out, what she would answer. So it was all in her words. And then she started writing, and when she wrote, like that much writing took...
Oh, look at that.
That took 20 minutes.
For her to do that.
For her to do that took 20 minutes.
So at age 13, she wasn't able to write and all of that at that time.
Right.
Okay, because of that.
Exactly.
But you didn't have a way of knowing
We didn't know that.
Got it.
At age 23, she wrote me the epilogue.
Wow.
Wow. And she's living at home. I mean, she's living in her own home and next door to us. And she's maintaining an adult life as a 23-year-old. It's been a real challenge, but she's doing it.
So you are really, this is important to you, passionate. I mean,
you can't, once you see it, you can't, once your eyes are open, you can't change it.
Right.
So that's why, we've become national and international advocates. There's nothing that we would do that we would want to stop it. And not in a shameful way.
Right.
Because my mom drank while she was pregnant with me. She drank while she was pregnant with my little sister, and my brother, and my other sister. And there are things in our lives that may have been different because of it. And yet my mom is a huge advocate right now. And she's not she's not afraid of it or ashamed of it or feeling guilty about it. It
Right.
just is what it was, and she didn't know.
That's right. That's right.
You know?
Well, it was like, my mom smoked when she was pregnant with me.
I know, and it
Or in
happens.
the house, and
That's
had
right.
ear infections, and now we know. Exactly. It's like parenting. It's an evolution.
That's right.
We learn more pieces of information that help us become better advocates
exactly
for our
right.
children.
And-
So you've homeschooled. You've been through all of this process. Now you've got a 23-year-old with a book.
Yeah.
What is The Whitest Wall about?
Well, one of the things that happened with the Whitest Wall is I got really frustrated because I couldn't reach the general population.
Okay.
The fetal alcohol is, people have this idea that they're criminals, and there's even a new book out by Jodee Kulp that says the fatal link that children with fetal alcohol are the school shooters.
You're kidding me.
No.
Oh, see, now I've heard different things about that.
Yeah. So
Okay.
there you've got this other side of the extreme, and I'm saying, can it happen? Of course, because if you're a child that is so different, and as your peers grow in their IQs, and their IQs grow up because they're able to be abstract, Liz is concrete. Liz understands the world like a 5-year-old, except in a 23-year-old mind. Is she a woman? Absolutely. Can she cook? Can she be around people? Would most people know? Absolutely not.
Right.
But she doesn't understand sarcasm. Any sarcastic remark would be taken literal.
Okay, so she.
Any kind of metaphor could be taken literal. And that's what gets these people to just fall apart. And because we do not live any longer in a concrete world. We live in a world that's very abstract, very information savvy, and they have a really hard time operating at that. So my position was, how do we get the general public to understand it in a really kind way?
Yeah.
And how do we get them to realize that their neighbor or the person that waits on their table or the person that is helping them do something may have fetal alcohol. And so instead of being angry and frustrated at some kind of unusual behavior, they're like, oh, that person probably has a brain injury and it's okay.
Right.
So that you're not constantly berating them or putting them down.
Right.
So that's why I did this.
Okay, so this was to reach the general population.
Right, so I researched and it said crime, genre, mystery, fiction. I said, okay, I'm going to write a crime, genre, fiction, mystery. And
just give your project to Jodee and she'll make it exactly what it needs to be. You fit all those categories. It's great. It's great.
So I did. I wrote it, and it's a trilogy because this is the I used an adult male. So this is a transition of adult male. Next year will be the adult transition of a young adult female, and the final one is a baby.
Oh.
And so what you get through the process of the stories is an understanding of the inner workings of the people. And the character I'm working on right now in Tiger and Butterfly, I'm actually putting the baby in the story. So the baby, as he's conceived and as he's born and as he's birthed and as he's in the womb, he's a character. Now he can't talk, but time talks to him. So time is the character that, he leaves eternity and comes into time, and time is, and when his mother drinks, time gets messed up. And the pieces get messed up, and then time has to run around and make things happen in a different order. And
interesting.
Yeah, so I've tried to capture the way to make it happen.
Jodee, it's absolutely fascinating. I love your approach and how you've taken a personal story and you've created something that can reach all people.
Yeah.
The real story, a fiction, all kinds of things. And hey, it won 2 awards.
I know, thank you.
I'm so happy that you were here with us. 5-time Mom's Choice Award winner, Jodee Kulp. And you publish all your own books too, don't you?
We do publish them all. I publish for other people, but yeah.
I know you do. You are a woman of amazing talent.
Thank you.
Thank you so much,
appreciate
Jodee
it.
Kulp.
Thank
Thank you.